I got a confession to make. I learned the most stuff from my kids. I was trying to film today, and no matter what I did, I kept getting distracted. I was outside, it was beautiful. My neighbors were cutting the grass. Cars were moving up and down the road. No matter what I was doing today, nothing seemed to work out. I had this big idea planned, and the more I tried to make it happen, the less it worked. So this afternoon, my daughter comes home and needs some help with her homework. She's got her protractor and she's learning her angles and measurements and stuff. And I'm sitting there explaining some stuff to her, and then I have her work some problems. And I noticed that as she's measuring the angles with her protractor, instead of just doing it the easiest way possible, she kept rotating her protractor a different way. She kept taking her start point and putting it somewhere else instead of where it was supposed to go. And it got me to thinking that that's what we do oftentimes whenever we come up with a plan. We have us a plan, we develop the plan, but somewhere along the way, we lose sight of the start point. We lose sight of what originally motivated us, or the original reasons for why we do what we do. As I was helping a guy who has contacted me to try to help him get to some of his goals, that's one of the main things that I told him. I said, make your goals, write them down, put them somewhere that there will be a constant reminder to you for why you're doing what you're doing. It's easy for us to get distracted, or even sometimes down the road to forget why we started this to begin with. The health, the weight loss, the diseases and the things that we start to recover from once we started to eat in this way. Carnivore does an amazing job of healing your body. But eventually down that road, if you're not careful, you'll forget the mind frame that you were in when you started. And then it's easy to get off course. Just like my daughter measuring those angles. If her starting point wasn't where it needed to be, she could never find the right answer. And that's why I think we lose track of where we're going. Is we lose sight of how we got started. That's something that I've tried to keep my focus on the whole time that I've been doing carnivore. I've had tremendous success with it. 234 pounds in a year, that's a lot of weight for anybody. I've never heard of anybody losing that kind of weight that quick. I'm sure they're out there. I'm not the only one by no means. But it's easy to lose sight of what originally started off as a hopeless situation if you're not careful. You got to keep remembering and reminding yourself of the start point, and remember the goals, and remember the reasons for why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, you can fall off track easy. It's not beyond me to fall off track or anybody else. It's just remembering, writing it down, going back to it, reflecting over it. It's just some of the things that I've learned over the last year that are really critical. Don't look over that. It's got to be about more than just what we see and what we feel at the time. If we're consistently responding to the circumstances we face, it's going to be real hard to maintain stabilization during that, because there's always going to be something that knocks us off. There's always going to be an emergency. There's always going to be a problem to deal with or something else to face. We're never going to be completely insulated from that. But we got to keep our focus on making it every single day an intentional choice to do what it takes to accomplish our goal. We can get in our own head. I do it. I've seen it so many times. People get in their own heads and they start buying into the excuses that they set for why they can't continue to keep doing what they're doing, or they just lose sight of the goal. So that's kind of the message that I wanted to send for you guys tonight. I wanted to get that out. Don't lose sight of the reasons why you started. Get your plan together, write it down, reflect on it often, and keep pushing forward.